Thank you for your support and enjoy the game. Tonight, Northeastern is hosting the Red Storm from Saranac Lake. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Red Storm. Number 2, Kyle McDonough. Number 3, Logan Hockwell. Number 5, Brittany Warda. Number 10, Shayna Buckley. Number 14, Tristan Cummings. Number 20, Bailey Morgan. And starting for the Red Storm, number 4, Melissa Moody. Number 11, Jenny Ward. Number 12, Caitlin Hewitt. Number 13, Selena Balajon. Number 23, Katie Buckley. And the Red Storm coached by Frank Young. For the Cougars, number 1, Katie Sample. Number 2, Ariana Kelsey. Number 11, Rachel Arlett. Number 13, Sierra Gagnon. Number 33, Christina Paolo. And starting for the Cougars, number 4, Peyton Sample. Number 5, Taylor Avenue. Number 41, Taylor Carter. Number 34, Emily Sample. And number 24, Jalen Brown. The Cougars are coached by Frank Young. So we all stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we fought were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red fell, the bombs bursting in came through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Alrighty, folks. Welcome, basketball fans. At long last, we are back on the hardwood here at Northeastern Clinton Central School in beautiful downtown Champlain, New York on this Wednesday evening, December 11th, 2013. This is the home opener for the Lady Cougars in the newly named Northern Basketball League. This is a Division I matchup between the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton and the visiting Red Storm of Saranac Lake Central School. After the tip-off, the Cougars control the ball, get it stolen, and the Red Storm have the first offensive opportunity, and a long three-point attempt goes short and out of bounds. Looks like the Red Storm coming out in a full court pressure to start the game off. This is Taylor Rabideau trying to get it over mid-stripe. And the Red Storm looking at some pretty intense pressure. This is inside for Carter. Carter turns around and puts a nice soft shot up and gets the Cougars on the board. This is take me like just a couple minutes to figure out who's who here, and number 12 is Caitlin Hewitt. Hewitt drives the lane, gets the ball swatted out of bounds, but it'll stay with the Red Storm with 14 on the shot clock. 13 is Balargeron. And the Red Storm get called for the travel. That was Moody on the point. Dragged a foot and gets called for the travel. And the Cougars look to break that pressure, and the ball gets knocked out of bounds. So they get the ball up to half court, get it down to the low post to Shaylin Rao, but she had the ball knocked out of her hands by Katie Buckley, and it was last touched by the Cougars. So that full court pressure results in a turnover. So Coach John's coming out with a plan to go full court and to see how they can possibly slow things down here with the Cougars. Hewitt's going to get called for a little aggressive reach out at midcourt. So there's Sample with it. Tries to get it into an ill-advised pass there into a double team, and that gets swatted away. So nice defense there by the Red Storm. This is Hewitt. And that shot's a little bit long. Sample comes down with Emily Sample with the rebound, and she steps out of bounds. So Cougars with a couple of turnovers here in the early going with just about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter, but leading 2-0 on the scoreboard, but turned the ball over at least 3 or 4 times already. So Coach Dumas, I think, wants the girls to take a little better care of the ball and see if they can generate a little bit of offense. There's a steal. A nice long pass up front for Emily Sample, who kisses it off the glass and in. So good heads-up play on defense there by Rao, who picked up that loose ball and fired it down court. Red Storm with some nice ball movement there, but unable to get the ball to fall. Peyton Sample loses the ball on the return. Here's Rabideau on the drive. That was a little bit too strong. Nice offensive rebound. A good follow-up there by Carter. And she puts in the putback, and that'll put the Cougars up by a 6-0 margin. And Coach John's seen enough, wants to call a timeout. 5:09 on the clock. Cougars with a 6-0 lead. Or smack me in the shoulder or something. Okay, out of the timeout. Cougars with a little token pressure on that inbounds, but Red Storm bring the ball up, looking to see if they can't crack that scoreboard. This one's off the front of the rim. Rebounded there by Carter. Emily Sample brings the ball up, cross court to Rabideau. Rabideau runs the lane, puts up a little runner. That's a little strong. There's Carter again with a nice offensive rebound and a putback, and she gets fouled going up, so she'll be at the line to shoot too. The foul will go against Katie Buckley. That's her first. So Carter at the line to shoot 2. First one's off the side of the rim. And the second one is all string. There's a steal by Rabideau. She gets through the triple team, and a pass over for Sample gets swatted out of bounds by by Jenny Ward. So the Cougars will regroup and see if they can't set something up offensively. There's a nice shot by Shaylin Rao. She was just a step inside the 3-point line, but give her 2 points on that. There's an entry pass in for Buckley, gets stolen by Carter. Nice pass there by Peyton Sample. Peyton Sample takes it to the rack and gets her first 2 points of the contest, and the Cougars have jumped out to a 11-0 lead here midway through the first quarter. There's a 3-point attempt by number 13 is Selena Belairgeron, and she knocks down the 3 to get the Red Storm on the board. There's a runner by Emily Sample, rolls in and out. Buckley with a nice rebound there. Ball gets swatted out of bounds. Cougars with some full court pressure on the inbounds play. Inside for Buckley, and she gets it tied up. And on the alternating possession, it will stay with the Red Storm. So the Red Storm will inbound under their own basket. This is Ward. Okay, Moody has it over. Here's the 3-point expert. And that one goes out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Cougars. Here's Sample coming up on a 2-on-1. Nice feed over for Carter, and Carter finishes. So the Cougars get the ball up the court pretty quickly and end up with a 2-on-1, and Peyton Sample does the nice entry pass in, and Kayla Carter finishes on the other end to put the Cougars up by 13-3 margin. Here's another long pass up front to Emily Sample, takes it to the rack left-handed and knocks it in. So 4 points for Emily. Here's the Cougars again with the full court pressure, and the Red Storm get that in. Comes up for Ward. Ward out for Moody. Here's Buckley on the high side. Takes it back over for Ward. That one's too short. Here's Sample with a rebound. Tries to dribble through a double team, and she draws the foul. It's going to be 3 team fouls on the Red Storm with 2:16 to go here in the first quarter. And Coach Dumas goes to the bench. Puts in number 13, Sierra Gagno. Number 11 is Rachel Arliss, and number 33 is Christina Paola, checked in for the Cougars. Looks like number 20 is Haley Morgan is in the contest for the Red Storm. Everybody else stays on the floor for Coach John. Arliss, and she's going to get called for the travel. Well, the Cougars turn the ball over once again with just over 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter and a 12-point lead. Here's Morgan, gives it to Buckley. Buckley looks to penetrate, gives it to Ward at the top of the key, but that one goes short off the rim by and Gagno, with a good hustle there, tries to throw the ball in, but it gets swatted out of bounds by the Red Storm. And Coach Johns pulls off the full court pressure to see if they can't drop into a half court thing, to see if they can't make something else happen. Paola does a nice job of keeping that ball alive. Carter taking it to the rack and drops it in. So Kayla Carter with 9 points here in the first quarter. Jenny Ward's going to get called for the travel. And this is Ariana Kellison and Kelly Sample. Kelly Sample check into the contest. Here's Sample. She gets the ball swatted out of her hands. And a long pass up. Nice ball work there. And Ward rolls one in off the rim. So the Red Storm with nice ball movement up the court there on the quasi-fast break off the steal. Here's another steal and a lazy pass. That one goes in a little bit too strong. Sample with the rebound, tries to send one up for Paola. She wasn't looking, and the Cougars turn the ball over with under a minute to play. Moody checks back into the contest. Buckley has it, and Arliss fouls Buckley. So the Red Storm will inbound here with 40 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and Cougars with a 12-point lead. And there's another three-point attempt on its way. Paola comes up with a rebound up for Sample. Sample pulls it out inside for Paola. Paola runs it to the rack and drops in a nice short jumper. Put herself into the scoring column. There's a pass that goes behind Moody and out of bounds, so the Cougars will have it with 11 ticks left on the clock here in the first quarter and a 14-point lead. Gagnon brings the ball up. Arliss will drive. Tries to send the ball over for Paola. It's on the deck, and we get a jump ball. So the Cougars will have an inbounds pass with 2 seconds on the clock. Number 3, Logan Hockwald will check into the contest for the Red Storm. And Gagnon with a three-point attempt at the buzzer comes up well short. So after 8 minutes of play here at Northeastern Clinton Central School, it's the host Cougars with a 19-5 lead over the visiting Red Storm of Saranac Lake. Okay, folks, we are back to start the second quarter of action here from Northeastern Clinton Central School. First game of the season for the both teams. For the first league game of the season, the Cougars started off with because of the realignment of the schedule, they ended up with the ability to play a couple of preseason games, so they participated in the tournament in Saranac preseason tournament where they ended up 1-1. Kayla Carter on the other end of that. It's a nice entry pass there, and finishes on the chippy shot. There's a little ball gets pushed around a little bit, and Cougars come up with a loose ball. So we get a call of the travel before the foul, so the Red Storm will keep the ball. And number 5 is Brittany Woodruff is now checked into the contest for the Red Storm. This is Valère-Giron gets her pass stolen. Sample's going to take it in. So Peyton Sample with another steal and an easy layup. Give her 4 points. Fairly balanced scoring with Carter doing the bulk of the heavy lifting, but most everyone else on that starting 5 with a couple of points anyway. And Red Storm turned the ball over again. So as I was saying, with the realignment of the league, the Cougars able to play a couple of preseason games as well as be able to pick up a couple of games over the Christmas break. So Usually by this time, in years past, they'd not been able to play any preseason games. So when the league started would be their first real official action. So number 3 is Logan Hockwald gets called for the travel before the shot. So ball gets turned over. And number 10 is Shauna Buckley has checked into the contest. Here's Carter again with a left hand. Nice soft touch there, and that one rolls in. So Kayla Carter with 13 points here in the early going of the second period. This is 20 is Haley Morgan. There's a drive into the lane. Nice move there by Brittany Woodruff right off the bench. Takes the ball, drives the lane, and puts a nice soft shot over the front of the rim. Here Sample's going to square up. That one's going to be a little bit long. Carter with an offensive rebound, and on the second try gets fouled on the way up, and the ball drops in. And that foul's going to go against Morgan. The basket counts, so Carter will be at the line to shoot one. 5:37 to play here in the first half. $16 points for Kayla Carter, and we got a timeout on the floor. 5:37 to play. Cougars with a 21-point margin. Okay, out of the timeout. 5.5 to play here in the first half. All Cougars so far. There's a nice drive by Ward, and she rattles one home for her 4 points. Nice drive there by Rabideau. Dishes it off for Rao. Knocks one home. 4 points for Shaylin Rao. Buckley dishes one off to the other Buckley. There's a 3-point effort by number 11 is Jenny Ward, and she knocks down the triple, give her 7 points to lead all the scorers on her team. Nice entry pass in there for Carter. Carter puts the ball on the deck, and she's going to get a foul somewhere along the line. Yeah, looks like Ward's going to pick up the foul. As the ball hit the deck, looks like she might have grabbed Carter's arm. Peyton Sample over for Rao. Nice sharp pass there. And Buckley comes away with that rebound. So good ball movement there on the inbounds play by the Cougars. And here's Buckley. She'll take the three and drains that one. So Katie Buckley gets in the scoring column as the Red Storm knocked down a trio of triples here to work themselves back somewhat into the contest. So they're down by 15 right now. About halfway through this period. 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Sample taking it all the way to the rack. That one gets partially deflected, or at least gets the shot altered by Buckley's presence, and the ball gets tied up. Cougars with the possession. Rabideau, she drives the lane, puts up a nice little floater there, and drops that one in. So Taylor Rabideau gets in the scoring action with her first points of the game. Ward dribbles by the pressure. Here's Buckley. Over for Hewitt. Hewitt puts the shot up and draws the foul. So Caitlin Hewitt will be at the line to shoot two. The foul will be on Emily Sample, I believe. That's her first. Only 2 team fouls on the Cougars. And that one comes up just a little bit short. Second one's on its way, and that one's off the side rim. Rebounded there by Emily Sample. Gets through the double team, and just about throws the ball away, but goes out of bounds off the Red Storm. Cougars with the ball. Sample over for Rao. Rao will square up and knock down that one. So it's 2 that she's knocked down from just inside the 3-point range. But gives Shaylin Rao 6 points. And there's a 3-point attempt that's way off the mark. Ward with the rebound. And it goes out of bounds. And Rabideau keeps it alive. Coach Dumas goes to the bench and puts in a whole line change. So Gagno's back. Callie Sample, Ariana Kellison, Rachel Arliss, and Christina Paola. Gagno drives the lane, gets the ball knocked out of her hands. Paola comes up with the loose one. She gets the ball back. Arliss, nice move underneath, blocked by Buckley. And the Red Storm will try to push it up the court. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go here in the first half. So Kellison knocks that one out of bounds. Going to stay with the Red Storm. 14 seconds on the shot clock. There's a 3-point effort by Ward. Arliss with the rebound. Long pass up for Sample. Sample tries to get it to Paola a little bit too far under the rack. Back out for Sample. Gets the ball swatted out of her hands, but Kellison is Johnny on the spot. Picks it up. Gagno with it. Dribbles out of trouble. Gets it over for Sample. Sample for Kellison. Back to Gagno. Gagno good hands there, but loses the ball out of bounds. So the Cougars turn the ball over, and Red Storm will have it with just under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Here's Buckley in the corner. Back out for Ward. And there's a 3-point effort that comes up way short and goes out of bounds. So Hewitt is the Red Storm keeping on the perimeter. Hewitt launches the 3, but comes up a little bit short. Callie Sample inside for a couple of, I think there was a little miscommunication there as the ball was probably trying to be sent in for Paola. Gagno stepped in front of it, but her momentum caused her to turn the ball over, so the Red Storm with the ball. There's a 3-point attempt. Comes up short. Nice box out there by Callie Sample. She dribbles into trouble, gives it over for Gagno. Gagno up for Kellison. Kellison over for Sample. Back for Kellison. Little crossover dribble. Takes it in the lane. Draws some heat. Gives it over for Gagno. Gagno rattles one around and out. Rebounded by Ward, and we got a timeout on the floor with 52 seconds to go here in the first half. And timeout was just to get the sub in. So we will keep on playing. Number 2 is Talia McDonough is checked into the contest. For the first time, here's Buckley for 3. That one's long. Paola grabs the rebound, dribbles through some pressure, takes it down into the corner, and Gagno comes up with a loose ball. That one gets deflected, and unfortunately it rolled up into the stomach of Selena Bergeron, and she gets called for the travel, so the Cougars get the ball back with under 30 seconds to play. here in the first half. Nice entry pass in for Paola, and Buckley blocks the shot but gets called for the foul. So Christina Paola will go to the line to shoot 2. First one's a little bit too strong. And number 5, Brittany Woodruff checks back into the contest for the Red Storm. And nice offensive rebound there by Arliss. And Paola tries to drive the baseline but steps out of bounds. So turn the ball over with under 20 seconds to play here. Red Storm with the ball. Looking for the final shot. Buckley across court for, that one rattles in and out, but an offensive rebound and a putback, and the buzzer will sound. So after 16 minutes of play here at Northeastern Clinton Central School, the Cougars with a 34-15 lead over the visiting Red Storm of Saranac Lake. It would be there. All right, folks. We are back at it here for the second half of action from Northeastern Clinton Central School in this Northern Basketball League Division I matchup between the Cougars of Northeastern Clinton Central and the Red Storm of Saranac Lake Central School. The Red Storm start off with the ball and missed down at their end. Cougars with a rebound and bring it down the other way. Ball was tied up, and the Cougars will have it on their inbound. There's a nice seal by Rao and a quick entry pass by Sample, and Rao seals nicely and puts in the easy shot. So Seal and Rao with 8 points. There's a 3-point attempt that goes short, and Carter's outlet pass a little bit too strong, and the Cougars turn the ball over. So Coach Dumas encouraging his crew to run the floor, but that one was a little bit too anxious for the youngster, and here's Revenue, steps in front of that pass. Nice cut there, and takes it into the rack. It looks like she got fouled on that play, but no whistle. She found herself a little bit too far underneath the basket, and pulls back out before she gets that frustration foul. There's a nice defense by Emily Sample, and the ball goes out of bounds and will stay with the Cougars. And there's a nice shot by Rao, so she's hit double digits, and he's got the first 4 points of the second half here for the Cougars. Here's Buckley, back out for Ward. Ward at the top of the circle. Buckley has decided to stay out on the perimeter. And Ward's going to take the 3-pointer. It was a little bit short. Rabideau with the long rebound. And it just chucks the ball up and into the hands of Jenny Ward. Buckley will take it to the rack, draw the foul, and make the bucket. So a little errant pass there by Taylor Rabideau. She didn't really look where she was throwing the ball. And Red Storm jumped on it, got it back inside to Buckley, who took it strong to the hoop, made the basket, and will be at the line to see if she can't convert the old 3-point play, and she does. So Katie Buckley with 6 points. Here's Emily Sample with a short one that rolls off the rim. Rao with a nice rebound there. And she's going to take a short jumper that gets partially blocked. Buckley up strong. And there's a pull up there, and that one's going to not go out of bounds. Rao tried to save it, but turns it over, and the Red Storm get called for the travel.
Nowhere to go. See, they only make one attempt to make the track.
Peyton Sample brings the ball up after the Turnover. Here's Rao with another long jumper, and nice work there by Carter, and a nice soft touch with the left hand. Drops it in. So Kayla Carter with 18 points, her first 2 of the second half. Cougar shows some full court pressure. Storm get it in and turn the ball over at midcourt. Rao has it on the ground, gives it off for Sample. Sample dribbles, leaves it off for Peyton Sample. Sample dribbling around the perimeter, gives it over for Rabideau. Rabideau, long pass over for Emily Sample. She squares up. That was a little bit too sharp, but Kayla Carter got herself nicely positioned there for the offensive rebound and the putback. So 20 points for the freshman in their, I was going to say her first varsity league game, but she did get called up for sectionals last year, so she does have some little bit of experience on the on this level. But, so far is shown to be a power with 20 points and a handful of rebounds that I just haven't been keeping track of. There's a pass up for Sample. Peyton Sample takes that one to the rack, a little bit too strong. Ward, I think, altered that shot some. And there's a shot by number 14 is Tristan Cummings. And the ball goes out of bounds and will be going to stay with the Red Storm. Cougars go to the bench, put in Sierra Gagnon, number 13, and Emily Sample steals the inbound pass. Gagnon, also another freshman, seeing her first varsity action. There's another rebound there by Rao on the offensive end. Here's Emily Sample once again. She squares up and knocks that one down. 6 points for Emily Sample. And Ward's going to get called for the carry. 3:37 to play here in the third quarter. Cougars with a 26-point lead. Here's Carter. Nice pass there by Rabideau. Carter on a decent seal and takes the ball to the rack. And the Red Storm moved the ball around the perimeter. Buckley will square up and throw up that 3, a little bit too strong. Carter with the rebound, gives it out for Gagnon. Gagnon pushes it up the floor. Rabideau inside for Sample. Nice move there as Sample cuts the lane, and Rabideau hits her for the easy assist. 8 points for Emily Sample. She and Rao and Carter the only ones to score so far here in this quarter of action. Red Storm will inbound, 17 seconds on the shot clock. Rachel Arliss and Peyton Sample check back into the contest. Buckley gives it back over for Ward. Ward back for Buckley. And Ward's shot is off the side of the rim. Peyton Sample with a rebound. Long pass up for Arliss. Arliss takes it in, a little bit too strong. And it's rebounded there by Haley Morgan. And she gets fouled. Arliss will pick up her second foul, and the Red Storm will inbound with 2:28 showing on the clock. Here's Morgan, or Woodruff, I'm sorry. Buckley, nice pass over there, and that one's blocked by Rao. Peyton Sample comes up with the loose ball, up for Arliss. Arliss with another attempt this time, and she rolls that one in. So Rachel Arliss gets in the scoring action with her first 2 points of the contest on a nice pass by Peyton Sample, and the Red Storm get called for the turnover. And Coach John goes to the bench, puts in a new line. of Shauna Buckley, Selena Bergeron. Number 4 is Melissa Moody. Let's see who else is out there. Looks like Logan Hockwald. There's a 3-point effort by Gagnon, comes up short. Rebounded by Buckley. Let's see, who else? McDonough, Talia McDonough out there on the court. And the Red Storm get called for the travel. About a minute and a half to play here in the third quarter. Carter inside, kicks it back out for Arliss. Sample squares up, that one's strong. Rebounded nicely there by Hockwald, and Red Storm pushed the ball up the court. So the Cougars sticking back in a zone defense at this point. There's a 3-pointer by Bergeron. Knocks down that 3. Her first point since the first 3 that rolled in for the Red Storm. Paola answers at the other end. Give her 4 points as we're under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Hockwald takes the shot, comes up way short. Carter with the rebound. Gagnon pushes it up for Sample. Nice ball movement there, and Paola takes it to the rack and finishes on the other end. So she will go to the line to shoot one. And she made the basket as the Cougars pushed the ball up nicely there and passed the ball well and run the floor well. And Paola finishes on the other end and draws the foul. So not much that Coach Dumas would not like about that play. Seven points for the senior Christina Paola. Buckley back for there's a drive. Gagnon strips the ball. Nice pass there. Threads the needle, gives it to Sample. Sample can't finish with the left hand, but Gagnon with a nice pass there. And they forced the issue at the other end, and the Cougars get the draw the foul with 2 seconds to go. And the horn will sound, and the third quarter of action here at Northeastern Clinton Central School, with the Cougars soundly ahead by a 55-21 score over the Red Storm of Saranac Lake. Okay. We'll try to muddle through without Moose. I know that there's a game early on last year that there was some real issues with the clock, and I think it was one of the first times that Moose hadn't been here, and we kind of blamed it all on Dale. Made a little bunch of rookie mistakes, but I guess if we give him enough time behind the controls, he'll be as solid as Moose was. Hockwald goes up and comes up short, gets her own rebound, and draws the foul. It's going to be 14 fouls on the Cougars. Foul goes on Paola. That was number 13, Bergeron. Knocks down that jumper. Give her 8 points. And Arliss gets called for the travel, so. There's McDonough with a shot from the elbow, and she knocks that down for her first 2 points of the contest. And The Red Storm have almost matched their output of the third quarter here in the first minute and a half of the second quarter. The fourth quarter, I'm sorry. So there's a steal by Bergeron, and Kellison hustles back, knocks the ball out of bounds, but Red Storm will keep it. Bergeron puts the shot up, but a little bit too strong. Viola can't come up with a rebound and goes out of bounds, and Red Storm will have it. 16 on the shot clock. Kellison intercepts that long inbound pass, takes it down, left-handed layup, knocks it in. So Ariana Kellison with her first 2 points of the contest, and I'm gonna guess those are probably her first 2 varsity points, at least in league play. First games that I've seen. Paola with the long rebound. Gagnon will give it up for Sample. Sample pulls it out. His little pass was outside the lane. Here's a nice entry pass in for Arliss. Arliss spins and puts the shot up, but draws the foul. Ball rolls off the rim. She'll be at the line to shoot 2. 5:53 to play here in the fourth quarter. Cougars with a 32-point lead. And Coach John goes to the bench, puts back in his other line. Tristan Cummins, Haley Morgan, Katie Buckley, and a few others. Jenny Ward and number 12, Caitlin Hewitt. So Arliss misses on both of her free throw attempts, so the Red Storm with the ball. Cougars in a 2-3 zone defense. Pulled out of the full court pressure. Here's Ward with a 3-point attempt that this is an air ball and goes out of bounds, so the Cougars will inbound. Gagnon gets it in for Paola, kicks it back out for Sample. Sample, here's Kellison, and she knocks down that little short one. So Ariana Kellison with 4 points here in the fourth quarter. Buckley has it. Back out for Hewitt. Hewitt drives, but kicks the ball back out for Ward. Ward thinks about it, but decides not to. Under 10 to shoot. Ball skips around and goes back to the Red Storm. Buckley does get the shot off, and Red Storm get the ball back. Here's Buckley again. That one's short. Ball's on the ground. Still hustle around. Red Storm have the ball, and finally we get a held ball. And the ball is going to go down to the Cougars, and the starting 5 will check back in for the Cougars. And in addition to that, Brittany Woodruff will come back into the contest for the Red Storm. Emily Sample over for Peyton. Here's Rao. This time is a 3. That one's short. Ward with the rebound. Pushes the ball up the floor. Dishes it off. Carter with the rebound. Outlet to Rabideau. Rabideau finds Emily Sample. Nice catch and shoot there by Emily Sample. Puts her in double-digit scoring with 10 points. Ward. That one's short. Buckley with the rebound. Nice move there. She squares back and puts the shot up for Rabideau. Rabideau all alone at the other end, and she drops that in. 4 points for Taylor Rabideau. As we get about 3 minutes and 20 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. And that one gets stolen by Rabideau. Rao comes up with the loose ball. Here's Rabideau over for Sample. Sample pulls it out. Back over for Rabideau. Rabideau with a short jumper. It's an air ball. Hewitt comes up with it. Drives the lane and takes it down this way. And she will, Emily Sample sets herself in the paint and draws the charge. Buckley will sit, and Huckwald check back into the contest for the Red Storm. Carter back out for Rao. Rao with a nice short jumper. That one's a little bit too long. And Ward with the rebound. Cougars playing some unselfish ball here with moving the ball around the perimeter, looking for the open look. Sunk back into a pretty compact 2-3 zone. And here's Ward with a triple. It goes a little bit long. Sample with a long rebound, gives it up for Rabideau. Rabideau running the floor, and she drops that one in. 6 points for Taylor Rabideau as the Cougars looked like they might have worn the Red Storm down just a little bit. And we got a timeout here just to get the subs in with just over 2 minutes to play as both teams empty their benches and go for wholesale substitutions. Needless to say, everybody getting their share of playing time here in this first contest. And Buckley can't hang on to that one, and Cougars will take over. Here's Kellison. This one in for Paola. Paola turns, rolls one off the front of the rim. Rebounded nicely there by McDonough. There's a good hustle there by Arliss, but she can't come up with the ball. And the ball goes out of bounds. We'll stay with the Red Storm. That one is short. Kellison with the rebound. Cougars with a 3-on-2. Gagnon for Sample. Here's Kellison. I think the Cougars like to slow things down here, take as much time off the clock as possible. And shot clock under 10. And nice move by Paola to roll one off the rim and in. Give her 9 points. 7 here in the second half. Kellison comes up with that loose ball. Cougars push the ball up the court. Here's Gagnon. Sample. And she gets that ball stolen. Valaire's around, pulls it out. It's in the lane by Buckley, and Shauna Buckley gets into the scoring action for the Red Storm with under a minute to play. Her first 2 points of the contest. And here comes Paola. She rolls it off the front of the rim. Arliss with the nice offensive rebound. She has it on the baseline, kicks it out for Sample. Sample with an open look. That one's a little bit too strong. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Red Storm ball. 30 seconds to play here. Cougars up by a 40-point margin. We'll sink back into zone defense. And that shot goes up. Won't fall, and Paola gets the rebound and is fouled by McDonough. 15 seconds on the clock. Cougars with the ball, and they can hold this one until the clock runs out. Kellison throws the ball away. Kelly Sample catches up from behind and swats it out of bounds before Cummins can take it to the rack. And that one's also out of bounds, so we got two ticks on the clock. Cougars not in any danger of letting this one slip away. And Ellison comes up with a steal as the horn blows. So the first home game for the Lady Cougars here at Northeastern Clinton Central School. They come away with a 40-point victory over the visiting Red Storm of Saranac Lake Central. Coach Dumas with 3 players in double digits in scoring, and Christina Paola not far behind with 9. So pretty decent scoring output here for Coach Dumas and the Lady Cougars. So we thank you for watching Hometown Cable Television, worth your support.